treat me right. She said, you can get whatever you want, as long as you eat it right. Yeah, baby girl, turn the lights out. I used to baby girl, ain't no lights out. Yeah, I'ma knock it.
What's up, Gold Juicy? Back in the bumper clap video splash. You think I'm saying? Yes, man, yes, sir. Steve Box. I'm playing with me with whoop-de-whoop. It's a long ass intro, y'all. We gotta do better than this. We gotta figure it out. You like it?
Yeah, we've been doing it for a while.
I know every word. I think I can like just spell that shit out like mad fast.
What? Yeah, I know.
You've been doing it for how long?
I don't even know what we're saying. It's just memorized in my head to just say it.
Some folks probably doing the same thing. Like, I guess we just came up with this little video idea to do like our deepest secrets.
Yeah, our deepest secrets, just to like open up and share some more things about us that y'all probably don't know. Cause we don't really, like on this channel, we like to keep it light, hearted, funny, good vibes.
Oh,
we don't really take we don't really take things too seriously. So not take things too seriously, but we don't really like open up about ourselves a lot. So
nope, we don't.
We had this idea to do this today, so I'm like, yeah.
I never thought about doing this in the sense of like talking about our deepest secrets, because if you know Aries, we're like people who don't even tell our deepest secrets. Like we keep our things to ourselves. Like we don't even ask people for help.
Pushing.
Yeah, we don't ask people for help.
Yeah, we don't.
I just keep going. I just be like, it is what it is. If somebody
we don't ask for help at all.
No, we don't. If somebody did us bad or something like that, did me bad, I don't even like really care to like try to get revenge back. I just just move on. So that's why I don't really feel like I have problems, but I do have problems. There's a lot of problems that we have, but we just keep it to ourselves because we feel like. We have
problems?
Not in between each other, but obviously our families.
Where should we start with, like, kids stuff?
I don't know what. I guess when you was, at a reasonable age with elementary school.
I don't really have much in elementary school, do you?
Shit, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, elementary school is where I grew up, really. Like I was young.
Elementary school is like 1st to 5th grade.
Yeah, I grew up young. Like, you know, I had.
Yeah, you did grow up young.
I grew up young.
I didn't.
How you grew up?
I was like a late bloomer. Like, I didn't lose my virginity till later than you. I didn't do a lot of stuff. I was like pretty prude.
Did you have boyfriends? How many boyfriends you had in elementary school?
I had like one, this like Spanish boy. My first real boyfriend, I think was, remember that shit I told you about Facebook?
No, I don't remember. Guy, tell me again.
The guy that he was talking about, something about YouTube.
What did he say?
I'm not saying his name.
No, I don't say his name, but what he say again? How I go?
What?
I know what it said.
I'm not saying it. This is gonna be too obvious. But basically that's not even my first real relationship. My first real relationship, I really only had like 3 serious boyfriends before Will. I didn't really.
No, hold on. Time out. Skirt.
It's true.
Time the hell out.
It's true.
You capping right now.
I'm talking about real relationships.
How we jump from elementary to real all 3 relationships in your life? Nigga, what are you talking about? You're lying. You're lying, Olivia.
I'm not lying. I'm being serious. I'm talking about real relationships.
I don't give a
people
fuck.
that I dated for.
Even if it was a friend relationship, it's still part of, it's part of your collection.
I don't really count that. I don't know. Okay.
No women try to forget bodies. This is not a relationship
video. No, I don't really want to talk about relationships. This is not that.
It's not that. But no, it's not that. But you're not gonna try to count out your bodies. Women try to count out bodies. I think I can erase bodies and erase. No, the fuck you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah. Back to elementary school.
Okay.
I wasn't dating nobody in elementary school. I switched schools a lot. I know that. I went to school. I started out in the Bronx, and then I went to Queens, and then I switched schools in Queens like a few times. So my coming up, like,
what part you like the most? What school you like the most?
When I was in elementary school, I had most of my friends, they were in Queens. But yeah, I liked elementary school, but basically what I'm trying to say is, like, me growing up, I never really had a stable household. I was kind of always going back and forth between my mom and my dad, because they broke up when I was like 2. So yeah, so I always went back and forth, and at one moment I would be living with my mom, and then one moment I would be living with my dad. And then up until like middle school, that's when I started living with my dad full time. But all elementary and when I was younger, I was like going back and forth. So it was just a lot of unstable stuff, you know, like just I would have to start new school and like meet new people. And yeah, but I mean, it wasn't bad because I was young, and I feel like at that, when you're young, you don't know what like it is to be really nervous or like have anxiety or stuff. Because when I was young, I didn't care. I was just like, okay, fuck it. But yeah, that's all I really remember, like my elementary years.
So you feel like that's trauma to you?
It's not trauma.
Like that's like a deeper, that's like a deeper secret, your dark secret.
I mean, it's not a.
What happened during that period of time that you feel like was a dark secret? Cause that's like anything, you know. We all got family problems, daddy, mommy not together.
That's what I'm saying. My elementary schools, I don't have any dark secrets. The only like darkest moments was just
Did anybody ever try to out you in your situation, like in your life? Did anybody ever try to out you? And then,
as a kid?
Yeah, like as a kid, like yo, like an outsider, like you just apart. You're not really here. Like.
Oh yeah, I always felt like that because first off, yeah, I always felt like that. My parents hated each other, and they still hate each other to this day. This is no surprise. But when I would go with my mom, like they talking shit about my dad, and then when I go with my dad, talking mad shit about my mom. So it's just a lot of confused.
And as a kid, that's not really.
Yeah, it's not good. And you know what? I wouldn't do that to my child. Like I wouldn't, like God forbid me and Will was like break up in the future. I would never talk down on their dad. I mean, I would never talk down on Will to the kids. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that. It just creates a lot of confused.
My mom never did that neither.
Moments. Yeah, your mom doesn't do that. Yeah, she doesn't. But you know what? A lot of things has changed since I was a child, but I'm talking about when I was a child, that's really what I experienced. And yeah, I never really felt like I belonged somewhere, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I never had like a family feeling, like I never had a family oriented situation.
You do now.
I do now, yeah, I do now. But growing up, I never did. That's why I dated Will. It was kind of like hard for me because it wasn't hard for me, but he was really, to accept it, because Will's really close with his family. He talks to them frequently. I don't. Yeah, it's just I had to like learn like, okay, it's good to be close with your family and create family value.
Growing up, sometimes that could traumatize you from like even just wanting to build that bond again, because you feel like it'll just do the same thing sometimes. So
yeah,
you know, but that's how it was when I was growing up.
What about you?
I grew up with my mom, just my mom. I didn't have a dad, so. But then I did have a stepfather that died, and that made it even worse, because it was like as soon as I let my guard down to be like, okay, I'll let somebody play father figure, he passed away and shit like that, and then I don't know, that is traumatizing. And then I feel like when he passed away, a part of my mama passed away with him, if that makes sense, because she was never the same, you know what I mean? But me growing up as a kid, I just had a lot of trauma, like dealing with a lot of death, cousins, aunties, friends, and all types of weird shit. It just was like I was in a good spirit though. I never cried. I never was like an emotional person, but there's a lot of emotional shit. I think because I got a shell over me from being young, because my mom used to always tell me stop crying. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I tell you stop crying, it's not really like...
Will really doesn't cry.
It's not like I'm trying to be mean. It's just embedded in me, like, because they told me, like, crying don't help nothing. That's what I always taught. But crying do help. You know what I'm saying? Crying is...
Sometimes it is good to, like, let it out.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to let it out.
No, I know what you mean, that, like, crying don't fix shit. Like, it just... to cry all the time, it's like, all right, it don't fix nothing. But like sometimes to cry, if you just want to let your emotions out, it's good. But I dealt with death too when I was younger.
You dealt with a lot of it?
My grandma died. I was close to my grandma on my dad's side.
Yeah, that's tough.
She died. She had diabetes and she got really sick. My uncle died. He lives in Texas. My uncle Andy.
That's tough too.
He randomly died too. He had like, I think like a heart attack. Like his heart just stopped. But he was young. He was like close in my dad's age. But yeah, I never really got to spend a lot of time with him because he lives in Texas. And then
your dad got brothers, don't he?
Yeah, my dad has brothers, but
So you got uncles.
there's another thing. This is why I have 3 uncles. So my dad has 4 boys.
Yeah.
So
Quadruplets.
yeah, 4 boys. But my dad is not really close with his family, so I think that's another reason, like, why I'm not family oriented. Same thing with my mom. My mom, she is lesbian, and when at first, like years ago, because I think she got with her wife that she's been with for 20 years now, like, yeah, 20 years ago. So I met her wife when I was like 3. So my mom knew she was gay, but back then, my grandma, her mom, is a pastor, and she's very, like, religious. And back then,
these are deep secrets, y'all. These are deep secrets.
Back then, to her, like, being gay and stuff like that, she was
which
not.
Which was normal. Everybody's parents was like against it. My grandma,
yeah,
still
in the early 2000s, I guess.
Like that.
I think it was a more taboo type of thing.
Yeah.
But my grandma basically wasn't really rocking with my mom for a little bit, and my mom kind of detached herself from her family, and she has 2 sisters, so it's all girls on her side, and then my dad's all boys on his side.
So you got 2 people who detach themselves from their family, who now has a baby, who now detach themselves from each other.
So now I'm just detached.
And then you're just in the middle of the detachment.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. That's crazy. I never thought about that, but yeah, that's that.
That's
crazy. Okay, you can talk about it.
But no, that's all the same thing. I think personally, like, that was just a deep conversation right there alone of just, like, man, I deal with that shit right now. My mom, my grandmother. Like, my mom, my grandma beef and bicker and batter every day. They don't even, like, it's always a tit for tat. I used to always go over there. They used to always argue about this person and talk about that person. And then my daddy's side of the family always act like they was better than my mother's side of the family, and my mother's side of the family. Like, it just was always like that. And I always chose sides because I'm more closer to my mama and my little brothers, you know.
Okay, so our camera died, so that's what happened.
What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
Will was talking about his mom and his grandma and how you had to, like, pick sides and stuff like that.
Yeah, like, growing up as a kid, my grandma used to make it feel like my mama wasn't, like, ready to raise us and all this, but my mama, she was mature enough to. And then growing up with that, my daddy situation where I used to go to my dad's house. Oh, let me tell you another secret. This is a different secret, you know? So as a child, supposedly I was kidnapped. You know, I was
what? Kidnapped?
Yeah, me and my sister. So me and my sister got kidnapped. So me and my sister got kidnapped as a child. And I went over to such and such house. I ain't gonna drop no names, obviously. But I went over to such and such house one day. My mom dropped me off over there, and then somebody came looking for somebody else. Somebody came looking for my daddy. And nobody told him where he was or whatever. They busted in the door or whatever. Some crazy story, like SWAT. They busted in the door like SWAT. And taking me and my sister for ransom and held us up for the information and all this goofy, crazy shit.
For money?
Like for bread and all this crazy, goofy shit. So this is supposedly what happened. I got to call my daddy and ask my daddy. But my daddy was locked up for 18 years, so he just came home. And I'm just now really reuniting with him. But I feel like he, you know, since we don't really know each other, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really know him like that for real. I didn't know he like my dad, so I don't know, it's weird. You know, that's like a situation where you really don't know your own pops, you know. I don't know what he been through in jail. I don't know. Y'all
didn't talk about that?
And we never, even if you talk about it, you never experienced it.
I think for you feel like you don't know him because you probably like didn't live with him and didn't experience certain stuff. Because once he came out, like, you was already older, you was already out the house.
Yeah, I was grown already.
And I don't know, it was just different. Like, y'all still chilled and stuff and like hung out.
Yeah, we still chilled and hung out and stuff.
Yeah,
we did, but it just felt like, you know, I still got a dad, but he like a friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a friend, like he but I never really had a father. Like I felt I never really had a father figure, yeah. And the one I think I did have, he passed away, and I felt like that was like I just basically like put his shell up, was like, man, fuck this type of thing. Let's say fuck it, like I don't need no father figure. I don't need to follow nobody, and that's how I just was been moving, like, you know. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just it's just when I was young.
It's kind of sad when you talk about it. Made me look serious.
I know, but when I was young, that's the only reason why I felt like that now. But I hope Rain don't feel like that. Only way Rain can feel like that if I'm not in his life. That's gotta be.
But you're a great dad. Like I feel like you and Rain, y'all gonna be like super close. Oh, yeah. Will's really involved in Rain's life every day.
Yeah, Rain most definitely gonna be my headache.
Rain loves his dad.
He's gonna be my headache. Well, I know.
And they look like twins, so they gonna be close for sure. So I don't know. Maybe certain things happen for a reason, but look how you're a dad now, and you have a son. Yeah. So now you're gonna be raising.
And you know what's so crazy? This is another deep secret. I was gonna name him like if I had a different name. What's so crazy, y'all, is the name I have now is my daddy's stepdad name, because I'm a third. So my senior got his name from his stepfather. He didn't even get his name from his biological father. Real father. So my biological father name was like, his biological father name was like something else, like Franklin or something. Like, I don't even know. I have me lying, but I don't know. But it wasn't no Willie.
Franklin. Imagine Willie being Franklin.
Man, that shit crazy as hell. So I got a step nigga name. I got a stepdaddy nigga name. That ain't even my family. This ain't even my line of history. My life is a lie. I
mean, maybe like that person like has stepped up as a dad, so they felt like that was their dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
so
I still want to know who the other guy is.
Yeah, you should do your ancestry. We both want to do our ancestry so we could like really see where we come from, because my mom's side is Puerto Rican, my dad's side is Dominican. Both my parents are firstborn generation American, but I want to see like where my thing go back to.
Nah, this shit here, this nice though. This nice conversation that we get to have these conversations, because I already had these conversations with the people that we talked about, stuff like that.
Mine's not really spoken about.
I mean, like, I said it briefly to them before. Like, I'm gonna speak my mind. I don't be. Yeah. I always tell them for how I feel. I just be like, man, I don't like this shit. How y'all be moving? I be telling them, but I was going to name Rain. But I was saying all that to say about my daddy name and stuff like that. I was going to name Rain if Rain was.
He would have been a fourth.
He would have been fourth, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna just let him be his own identity.
Willie the fourth.
I'm gonna let him be his own identity.
Yeah. So we came up with a new name. And Rain is gonna be his own person.
Yeah, he can have a junior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if he wants to, yeah. But that's cool.
That was my plan. This is just the first episode of us having deep secrets, deep conversations with Gold Juice, whatever, deep conversations with Gold Juice or deep top secret, whatever we gonna call it. Yeah. But it ain't the only thing that happened in our lives, you know.
Yeah, that's just like our younger years.
That's not just that. We ain't even
touching on middle school.
We got more. We got more things to talk about. We got a lot of secrets. I got a lot of things that she don't even know, and she got some secrets that I don't know, because I want to know about her college days. I want to know about her little girlfriend, because there's some secrets and shit she didn't tell me. I'm knowing she didn't tell me everything. Cause I just now found out when she was hanging out with her friends out in LA. See, I ain't even gonna tell y'all.
LA.
I ain't gonna tell you no more. You know, yeah, you know.
Well,
yeah.
That's not no deep secret.
Yeah. Okay, then what is it then? Go ahead, you tell them folks, and we gonna see what they say.
What are you talking about?
All right, we're gonna leave that off.
I'm really sweating because you're talking about something that happened last year.
We're gonna leave.
We're talking about.
But this is deep secret.
My friends had me.
What? Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Look, we're gonna keep that on the wrap.
Y'all let us know down below in the comments if you want us to do a part 2. And if you want us to continue this series of just having sit down talks with y'all, getting real about our personal life. And we wanted to share this because I know there
might be people going through the same thing.
Yeah, people that are going through the same thing, people that can relate, and you're not alone. I also want to talk about stuff like mental health, because we never talked about that either.
No, we're gonna talk about that.
That's like a whole other topic that I could like go in depth.
People don't know we both suffered through a lot of mental health situations.
Yeah, we have. We have and we still do.
Yeah, we still do.
But getting a lot better. I think so.
For sure.
I think every day is like
every day
getting better. So.
Every day.
Oh, it's 555. Wow.
555 on 22222.
I'm
almost. All right, Go Juice. That pretty much wraps up this conversation. We love y'all. Keep telling a friend to tell a friend to subscribe.
Like this video, subscribe, turn your post notifications on so you're notified every time we upload. And we have a real special video coming out. So like this video if y'all want to see that video, because
you see my hair getting longer. This
it's
length
important.
getting crazy, baby.
Yeah, I know. You look like a freaking fool.
I'm tryna quarantine and fuck, hey, what's up? Just like on text, man, they got tear it up. I ain't got no road, I ain't no point for you, no fear. And if you sick, then I'll sick with you, I don't care.